Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Daniela and today we'll continue with Mindhunter, this time the fourth episode of the second season. In the last episode, Holden, Holden went alone to Atlanta to interview some serial killers, but it didn't went as he thought he would. In his opinion, he didn't learn anything. They were too stupid. They weren't interesting, but Wendy and Bill, thought differently. Also, while being there, he met this woman at the reception of his hotel, and they talked, and she wanted him to investigate some cases of some missing and murdered children, but also that didn't went that well. um, you know he left without giving them a closure, unfortunately. But it is what it is. It can solve something that the police couldn't, or also didn't put that much effort into it either. Can solve that in a day. So unfortunately, things like this always happen. Anyway, as usual, I got something to drink. The episode is ready to start. So without further ado, let's do this.
Hey, little man. What you doing?
Nothing.
You scared? Ain't that a job for you?
Kind of job.
Paying kinds.
What I gotta do?
Nah. You scared?
I'm not scared.
Hop in there.
And he was never seen again.
You want me to keep doing this all day? No, that's enough.
Oh.
Now, what the fuck I'm gonna do with them?
Show him your badge, tell him to never get into a car with a stranger again, then take him for ice cream.
I want my $2. Yeah, where's my $2?
Give them each $2.
I'm looking for some help. I've got a project, and I'll pay you boys $2 an hour.
You a cop?
If you want to take the job, my car.
Supposed to say yes if you are.
What the fuck do you want?
Sorry, ma'am.
They got every right to play and mind their own business.
Sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to.
If you got something to say, then say it to me.
Maybe it shows that the kids that disappeared, maybe they went, some of them voluntarily, and the person that took them was African American.
Over a period of 7 months, 11 children have disappeared in Atlanta. 8 have been found murdered. Not one case has been solved. Not one case has any suspects or even a viable witness.
We can't get involved. You know that.
We could offer our help.
We don't consult unless we're asked.
We got a report from the Atlanta field office a few weeks ago about a young girl who'd been abducted.
Victim 9, Latanya Wilson, taken from her home while she slept.
No ransom call ever materialized. To date, there's no federal crime. The mayor requested we get involved, but I don't think justice wants to touch this with a 10-foot pole.
I've developed an initial profile and was running it by the unit to get their input. That there are indicators of a compulsive killer.
Such as?
One child's body was washed. Another was found with someone else's underwear stuffed in her mouth. Several died from manual strangulation. I've done some research, and they should be looking for a black male. Mid to late 20s. No white person could go unnoticed in these neighborhoods. We should have multiple eyewitness accounts, but we have none.
Use that instinct of yours. You just have to do it from the comfort of Quantico.
Dane Coral, 30 years old, known around Houston as the Candyman.
Oh, I read about this. He would give free candy to teenage boys and rape, torture, and kill them.
I remember it was a huge case.
Don't worry, we'll read up on the plane.
He's dead.
Then
He's not our subject. The man who killed him is Elmer Wayne Henley Jr.
He says his only role was to lure the boys in.
in this confession, he admits to killing 6.
That must have been before he got a lawyer.
Brooks and Henley would procure victims with the promise of drugs or alcohol, and then Coral would wait until they were inebriated and then handcuff them to his bodyboard.
Who selected the victims?
We think Henley because they were often kids he knew from school. Coral offered $200 for everyone he brought. Told him it was for a sex ring.
Hardly lets him off the hook.
Well, maybe for the first one. After that, he knew exactly what was going to happen to those kids.
Henley was originally brought to Coral as a victim. Sexuality is relevant as far as it pertains to victimology. I think their obvious preference for males, but it's not causal to violence.
Homosexuality is a deviance.
Actually, it's been removed from the DSM as a disorder and changed to a sexual orientation disturbance.
So another child reported missing in Atlanta. This time they received a ransom call. I've got Earl. He's in Alabama. It'll cost you $200 to get him back. They're looking at racial motivation. Apparently the caller sounded white.
But the victim fits the pattern. Young, male, black.
Exactly. Earl Lee Terrell, 11 years old. I'm sending you both.
The caller might be white, but there's no way he's the one picking up the kids.
We rule nothing out. Methodical, legwork. You heard him, right?
Done sending them to Atlanta until the case is resolved.
Feel
I
left
commend
out.
you, Henley. It's why I transferred here. And we did the research. We should do it together.
The ransom call is supposed to come in at 6 p.m. We were getting briefed by the case agent. He got a little sidetracked.
Is this where he was taken?
No, it's where the call is supposed to come in. We'll set up an hour before. Keep all vehicles away from the house in case he's watching.
Where was he taken?
He'd been kicked out of a pool in Lakewood.
Broad daylight.
Most likely the kid just wandered off. Could even be a runaway. It's just doubtful this is a kidnapping. $200 ransom? This is opportunistic extortion at best.
Safety commissioner's coming by this afternoon. He's the mayor's right hand. He wants to meet the FBI.
Well, maybe for once we're gonna get all our questions answered. But his family history is gonna be important, so you can't let him off the hook on that. We need to get his reaction to his father's violent behavior. Does he excuse it? Did he try to appease his father?
He's very nervous. I mean, coming from a desk job.
What your parents were really interested in talking about any of that.
Description of job stability. Which of these applies the most? Generally stable, unstable, chronically unemployed?
What do you think?
It's not that easy.
Do you ever suffer from sleep disturbances, headaches, dizzy spells, blackouts?
Are all your questions stupider than shit?
We're here to talk to you about the murder of Dean Coral and your participation.
I didn't participate in anything. I defended myself. Houston police can attest.
One moment. I'm sorry, Wayne.
Hey! Don't you call me that.
You don't like your father's name? We know that he hurt you when you were a child. We know he hurt your mother too. Is that why you gravitated toward Dean Coral? Your mother told the police that Dean was like her father too.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
He couldn't see you as you were. You're clearly intelligent, capable. Dean saw that, didn't he? Did you see Dean as a father figure?
Who's your father figure? Was it your daddy? Girls like you want to take guys like their daddy because they want to treat them just like daddy did.
I was in a relationship once that I think is very similar to the one that you were in with Dean. She was my boss, my mentor, my lover. What was he like?
Quiet. Lonely type. I was curious about Dean now. I wanted to know what his deal was. He got on that one just fine, but you never knew what he was thinking. I needed money, so I thought, sure, why not?
But then Dean changed the rules, didn't he?
He wanted us to get some teenagers.
Did you believe yourself capable of murder?
I'd wonder what it was like. We all had.
Did you fantasize about killing someone before you met Dean?
No.
So from your own experience, you knew that anyone you brought him would be assaulted.
I was just thinking about the money. It was never done by my choice or want or need.
But you stayed in the house. Why would you watch if you didn't want to participate?
Dean wanted me to stay.
You wanted to please him.
Dean was good to me. I'm not saying he was all good, but he was good to me.
I can't imagine how difficult it must have been for you to kill the one person who'd ever treated you with respect.
Nah, it was cool.
But why did you kill him?
Get away from him.
Waking up handcuffed had no impact on you?
It had a fucking impact on me. I had to defend myself.
Did Dean ever make advances?
Did he ever ask me to suck his dick? Is that what you want to know? Well, even if he did, I ain't no fucking homo. A boy got involved with a murderer. That's all that happened.
I believe you have a predator. All are from the same socioeconomic background. All the bodies have been moved and left to be discovered post-mortem. Several were asphyxiated. These killings are personal and may well be sexually driven. There's no way a Caucasian like your caller could take children from these neighborhoods without being noticed. He might drive a vehicle disarming to kids, an ice cream truck, or a police car.
Gentlemen, I know this can all sound conjectural, but I assure you we conduct our work very methodically.
You have to come home.
Why?
The police want to talk to Brian.
What?
What do you mean? Who told you this?
It was that detective.
Why do they want to talk to... What did he say exactly?
He wants to talk to him, and he wants us both to be there. That's all I know.
it's connected to the baby.
I'm here to tell you that I'm back, officially.
Officially? And last time?
Last time I was on my own. I've just come from coordinating with the task force and meeting with Commissioner Brown.
I met with Commissioner Brown 2 weeks ago. Right after we held a press conference asking why the city was neglecting our murdered
What
children.
if it was him, the commissioner, you know, has enough influence to be trusted?
Half the force used to be Klan. You think they're gonna police themselves?
I'm sorry. We still have officers looking for
You're
Earl.
not gonna leave.
No, ma'am. We're not gonna leave.
He wants his money, he'll call.
Yes, ma'am. We'll be right here.
If the call comes...
When the call comes. Don't tell me there's not gonna be a call. I want my boy back.
We're doing everything we can. Everything. Got men stationed all around town. When he calls, we'll get Earl back safe.
You're absolutely right about this not being a kidnapping.
Unfortunately, now we can transfer resources to reviewing the cases.
Thank you for coming down to Atlanta. But with no kidnapping, there is no federal crime.
Oh, we don't have to leave. We're just starting.
You do have to leave. FBI no longer has jurisdiction. We appreciate your help.
Redirect the investigation to look for a black perpetrator? That's not going to play with his constituency.
What if I said we should look for a white one?
My guess is the city doesn't want to say there's a predator at all. It's bad for business.
Denying it just makes him harder to catch.
He had this.
He must have found it.
He was there. He took them there.
Who?
Those kids he plays with, the older kids. They did this, Bill. They hurt that little boy. It was an accident.
Brian said that?
They already had the story from the older boys. Brian just nodded. It was Brian's idea. It was his idea to put him on a cross.
Okay, maybe... Oh, it's over. Damn. How do you process that as a parent? It's impossible. Well, there are two possibilities. I mean, there is one possibility. I don't even know. Maybe he took them there because he wanted to fit in, kind of, to be accepted, be part of the group, be friends, you know, do something for them. But for him to come up with the idea, that's a bit much. But maybe even that, he took it from what he saw in the photos of his father. The ones that he had from cases. And he saw that, and even then he thought that something fun and he's gonna be part of the group. But still, damn, maybe he's just showing signs of psychopath. I'm not saying that one specific thing means that he's a psychopath, but you know, there is not first of all, they don't know who his parents were, nothing about his family background, nothing. Then him not wanting to talk with Bill, with his father, could say something about his actual father. Sometimes even wetting the bed is a sign, not by itself, but you know, combined with all the other things. And I mean, in this, could definitely be a sign of, a serial killer. And that's why the door some episodes ago where was open, even if Nancy was sleeping with Brian, but I'm guessing he snuck out and came back, got closed the door. And also, with the photos, looking at them, and not just that, but keeping one of it under his bed. Usually, I don't know how much kids get fascinated with dead bodies and murder and crime scenes. I'm guessing, should be pretty scared, or how you deal with that? Because if he was part, he will be taken by the police. In a way, questioned about it, about what happened, and taken away from them. Even if he's so small, but damn. Also, Holden went back to Atlanta. He had the consent of FBI, and because there was a kidnapping of another child, they had jurisdiction there. They could go, and there are a lot of kids. Apparently there was a call wanting $200. Apparently it sounded wide, but I don't know if it was just a prank or someone did it to confuse the authorities, or he did it to as a kind of a last resort, so the FBI could come and maybe they could handle the case and find the culprit or whatever is going on. But they were waiting for a call and no one called, and if there is no kidnapping, apparently no FBI either, which is, weird. In a way, you should, not uncommon, weird but not uncommon, you should put the lives of others, especially kids, before, everything else. Should do, as authorities, you should do anything and everything to either rescue those kids or stopping others to be abducted. But apparently the commissioner, no kidnapping, no FBI, bye-bye. I know, especially because they believe is a black man and the mayor is black, and the way the black people were seen that time, he doesn't want to make a bigger case and about it, that it's already is. It's always strategical kind of, but even this, I don't know. Especially, I'm guessing he doesn't, as I said, doesn't want to be known that there is a predator in his city, so choosing to keep it low. But yeah, That was an episode, and damn, with that revealing at the end, blew my mind. Wow. But yeah, that was that. That was episode 4, and I can't wait to see the next. But for now, this is all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye.